Hi, and welcome to the video overview of MBA 592, Organizational Behavior for Winter 2020. So the purpose of this video is to answer a lot of frequently asked questions, give you an overview of how the class is organized to better help you to understand the flow of the class, what you need to do, and how to get the best grade possible in the class. Okay, so let's start with the menu path. So this is the menu path on Blackboard that I'm going to be running through for this video. I'm going to work in order, top-down order. So the first one is announcements. So it's important to read over announcements first thing you do to get an idea of what I feel is the most important aspects of getting started in the class. So the first announcement I posted is getting started. So this is where I've emailed this out to you, or you clicked it on the main web page, which has this video which you're watching now, which is the best way. The first thing you really should do is watch this video. Then each week you will read the assigned chapters, watch the assigned lecture videos, complete the discussion board questions, and work on the Homework Manager website for quizzes and other homework assignments. So those are basically the four things you're going to be doing each week. And I also suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I'll show you in a minute how to access, where I'm housing all the video instructions for this course. Okay, so moving down to the next announcement. Okay, the next announcement is about the textbook. So in this announcement, I'm giving you the information about the textbook that we're going to work with, and the textbook and Homework Manager come together on one site. So when you buy the Homework Manager, you get the textbook, and everything's together there on one site. You use this instructor code to access and get connected to our class. Let me just turn that off. Okay. And we're going to talk more about the Homework Manager in a few minutes when we get to the menu button, but this is just a recap of the main things you need to know to sign up for the Homework Manager. No late assignments will be accepted. So just keep that in mind, that if you typically have issues that prevent you from doing things at the last minute, such as computers breaking, cars breaking, traffic, family obligations, work-related obligations, you should start and plan on doing the homework 1 to 2 days early, because if something does happen last minute, I'm not going to accept any late assignments. So just be cognizant of that. And I'm opening up the class early so you can work on the assignments early, so this won't be an issue of you not being able to finish the assignment at the last minute. The course overview. So I have put down in the 3 weeks that we're going to be working in this winter class an overview of the chapters and the lectures that we're going to be working on each week. So you have a good idea of what the chapters are you need to read, what the lectures are, and the web link to watch them, as well as a recapping reminding you to answer this week's discussion board questions and complete the homework questions. So I have week 1, 2, and 3. Now in week 2, there's also a paper you need to complete. In week 3, there's another paper you need to complete. So that we'll also go over in a few minutes as well. Actually, we'll go over it now. So on Friday, January 17th is the first paper. And that's the CEO profile paper, which I'm going to discuss in more detail in a minute. And then on Friday, January 24th, will be the organizational culture report. And I expect these to be graduate level, professionally graduate level written papers with citations. And I give you links of how the rules of citations from a couple various sites that might be good resources, so you know how to create a reference list and a citation. Okay, now the paper is going to be graded with this rubric. So I put this rubrics down in the announcement, so you should probably read this rubric over, and this is what I'm going to use to grade the paper, so you have a better idea of how I'm going to be grading your paper. And remember, don't forget to cite your paper correctly. So when you answer the questions in the paper, you're going to be needing to pull information from different sources, and those sources need to be cited. Okay, so that's it for announcements. Let's move over to the syllabus. So when you click on the syllabus, this is going to pull up the syllabus for the class, and I expect you to read this in its entirety. It has some good information about the course in here, including some information that was on the announcements, and where I put the textbook again. Of course, this is an asynchronous class, which means it's 100% online. We are not going to meet in person or meet online in real time at any time during this course. Everything is going to be you're going to work on at your own pace remotely, as long as you make the deadlines. of the homeworks. I don't care what time of day you watch the videos, read the textbook, or work on the homework. It's all up to you. Just make sure you get things done before the due date. Now, read over the syllabus, because this is talk about the course description and objectives for this organizational behavior class. So it's an important thing to read over to get an idea of what we're going to be talking about, and then the learning goals related to this class, how we're going to accomplish those learning goals. The grades for the course are going to be laid out as such, where I have 2 papers. Each paper is 200 points. I have these discussion board questions, which can be a total of 400 points, and then the quizzes on the homework manager are 700 points, and the homework assignments are going to be 500 points for a total of 2,000 points. If you divide by 20, you will get your overall percentile and grade for the class. Okay. Now I also put in here some information about the discussion boards, how to participate, the cultural profile report, and the CEO profile report are also in here, as well as our 3-week schedule for the class. So the simulation of the syllabus has a lot of details about the class on it that you may want to read over and think about a little bit more. So I suggest that you read the syllabus in its entirety, but basically gives you a lot of information that I'm covering in this video, but you have it as a backup here that you should read over carefully. Okay, moving into the next menu tab, class video lectures. So this is where you can watch all the videos that I recorded for this class. You click on this button here, and it's going to bring you to a YouTube channel. And this is my YouTube channel that I created for the course, and it's MBA 592 OB, and I've listed all of the videos to watch for the class in order that I've created for the class. That is useful and that you might find enjoyable. So I suggest that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because sometimes I post new videos or other related video content that you can get an announcement for and acknowledgement that that's ready for you to watch. So this is a great area. And what's great about YouTube is that you can watch at the gym, you can watch on your lunch hour at work, you can watch in bed on your iPad, you can watch on your phone while commuting to work if you're not driving. So it gives you a lot of options and availability to watch the various videos for the course. All right, let's move this back down here. Okay, so that's where you would see the video lectures. I have the PowerPoints for the class, which the lectures are based on, backed up here under PowerPoints, and these would be from the textbook. Now let's move into discussions. So discussion boards is a big area for the class, and in each week, I have a discussion board week 1, week 2, and week 3. So you'll see here I'm saying here every student I expect to post 1 original response to the questions and at least 3 replies to other students. Each post should be between 100 to 200 words, and you earn points for participation based on the quality of your original answers and your replies. So this would be the first week's question that I'm asking about motivation. And I would like you to post your original response on Monday and Tuesday and replies to other students' responses on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You see, it's not fair to post your original response on Friday. No one's going to read it or have a chance to read it or comment on it. So please make your original posts on Monday and Tuesday. This is how you make an original post. So you click on this link here, discussion board week 1, and even click here as a reminder. And this will open up this area here. And you want to create a thread. You can also subscribe, which just means they'll send you emails when new posts are set up here. But if you can click create thread, and this will create a thread. And what I'd like you to do is to put your name, last and first name, and then some kind of title of what your subject is. And then in the message, you're going to take the question up here and you're going to answer it fully in this message box. And then when you're ready, let's move this up, you're going to click submit. So, and it's okay if you want to actually put the questions down here and then answer put your answers in. Let me just grab this again. So you can put your questions down here. Oops. And then you can answer, if you want to answer below the question, feel free to do that. So if I was, you type in your response, and then you submit your post. Now, once you submit your post, you'll be able to see the threads of all the other students and what they've posted, so you get an idea of their responses, and you can comment on their responses, but you can't see their threads until you've completed yours. And then once you've completed yours, you can click into another student's thread, and you could read it over, and then click reply to post, a question, a response, an enhancement to what they posted. And you can also rate their posting from 1 to 5 stars, which is a great way to provide feedback for other students and also receive feedback yourself to get a better idea of how you're doing and how your posts are being received by the class. It's completely anonymous, so be as frank as possible so students really get a sense of how valuable their posts are. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to go back to that thread. I'm going to actually, let me delete this. Okay, so that's how you would answer the discussion boards. And like I said, that you want to post your originals on Monday and Tuesday, and your 3 replies on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, it doesn't have to be one a day. You can go in on Thursday and post your 3 replies. But you should also go back to your thread, because you may have students who ask you direct questions. Now, so if a student replies to your answer, your reply to the student's question is not a valid reply as far as the 3 replies. Those 3 replies must be to other students, not to replying to students who have replied to your post. Okay, so that's the discussion boards. Pretty simple, but it's meant to simulate in-class discussion. So think of an in-class, teacher makes a question, students provide experience and further questions to get this discussion going. So this is just our online discussion board. It's takes the place of discussions we normally have in the classroom. Okay, moving on to the next item, which would be the homework manager. So when you click on the homework manager, it's going to bring you directly to the homework manager website, and this is where you're going to be able to work on the homeworks and quizzes for the class. So let's go move on over there. Okay, so it's going to look like this initially, and this is where you're going to register for a student, and this is where you're going to bring over the course ID that's under announcements in the syllabus, and then you'll be ready to participate and work on the class in this environment. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so when you log in, it's going to look like this. So we're working with assignments, results, and the Pearson eText. So the eText, you click on this, you'll be able to read the textbook. Remember to disable any pop-up blockers you may have on your browser. Chrome usually works pretty well. Results are where you can see the results of your assignments. It's sort of like the grade book. And assignments is where you're going to work on both the homework assignments and the quizzes. So the quizzes are these squares, and these are the due dates on the side. So you want to keep track of the due dates. So I have multiple due dates here that you want to keep track of so you don't miss any assignments. And when you click on the assignments, we'll click on this first assignment here. And this is the question. Let me resize it. Okay, so this is sort of a specialized question where we're talking about a question. Continue. Okay, and it gives you if you're right or wrong, and you move to the next question. So these are questions from basically from the textbook. And then let me see. There's different types of questions. Here's a video question. So if you click on the video question and you click on question 1, you're going to get a pop-up box. Remember, you got to disable pop-ups. Also, when you register for the homework manager, I've had more than once I've had a student sign up for the trial period. Now, if you sign up for the trial period, I don't see your work. I don't see any of your results. And I had more than one student sign up for the 2-week trial period, complete all the work in 2 weeks, and then never look back. Then a month later, I get an email, why did I fail the class? And I write back, because you didn't do any of the homeworks. And they write back, yes, I did. And so after a while, we discovered that, oh, you signed up for the trial period, never paid for the homework manager, but the textbook company's not that stupid. They're not going to give me your results unless you actually pay for the full version. And I've had problems with students converting from the trial to the full later on. So I suggest never to sign up for the trial period, just sign up for the full homework manager right away, and you won't have any of these issues or problems. Okay, so here's the pop-up for the video. First, you see a little film icon here. You click on the video. As long as your pop-up blockers are disabled, the video will come up, and then you can watch the video. I'm just going to turn the sound down here. You can watch the video, and it's going to give you, it's just short, usually under 5 minutes, maybe the longest could be 10 minutes. It's a video about some particular subject related to what we're doing in that week in organizational behavior. So you watch the video, and then you answer the questions related to the video and save. So it gives you, here it's telling me don't save, you haven't finished all of the questions. So if you answer all the questions, and you have this nice ability that if you start it, you can check your answer and let you know if you've got it right. You can move on to the next question. So there's only 5 questions here. So you get a couple chances. And then you save, and then you get your results, and you move on to the quiz. So the quiz would be each week there's a quiz, and you can start the quiz, clicking start, and then as you're working on the quiz, you answer your questions, you move through it. Something may happen. You might get disconnected from the assignment, and the box closes. Oops, hold on, I gotta sign back in. So maybe your session times out, or your Wi-Fi goes down and your computer crashes. So you can always log back in to the homework or the quizzes, and then you can go back to quiz 1. And you see it says incomplete. But it lets you go, you click on finish the test, and you can go back in and finish the exam. That's not submitting the test, it's just saying, okay, I'm ready to go back in and start the test. There's no time limit on these quizzes or tests. You can keep moving forward, but you're not going to get any feedback if the answer is correct or not until the actual quiz is completed. Then you can submit your quiz, and then when you submit your quiz, you're going to get your feedback on the quiz. Let me just leave this. Okay, so there are also these personal inventory assessments, which you click on this, and then you start this awareness scale. And now, very important, a lot of these tests and quizzes, you cannot pass or know what to do on them unless you read a textbook. So I have students who start some of these awareness videos or some of these questions, and so as you go through, they're going to have a set of questions here. And this is sort of a survey and give you results. So these are all different types of assignments that you're going to be working on. To give the class a little bit more interest, a little bit more variety in the types of problems you're doing. Some of them can be a mini sim. So here's another example of mini sim. And in this, when you do the mini sim on leadership, here's an example of something that you think will be easy, but if you don't read the textbook chapter this is related to before completing it, you may not understand what they're asking for. So they're going to give you a set of questions here. Let me just resize this. So they're going to give you a set of information, and then they're going to give you a scenario, and then eventually, as you go through and you read the scenario, they're going to start asking you questions about decision points. So without reading the chapter, you're going to have a hard time answering these and getting the full score. So that's usually the big problem I have. Students will skip the lecture and skip the reading, go right in on the homework, and then get very frustrated when they can't get a lot of things right in the simulations or in the video exercises because it's all related to what you're learning in the textbook. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so these are all laid out in order of when they're due, and it's very organized, so you might want to keep track of your due dates and the homework manager. And then as you complete the assignments, the results will be stored in your gradebook or your results here. And then in this results area, I'm going to also post the grades from the papers and the homework manager. So you'll have the not just the papers, but the discussion board grades. I'll post them all here on the homework manager, so you have one overall score, percentage score, that you could look at to understand what your grade is as the class is going on. Okay. And of course, we have the e-textbook, which you can use to view the e-textbook. And this is a great way of being able to bring this anywhere you want, that you have a device capable of having an internet browser, so you can read the textbook at your leisure. All right, so let's go back to the class. So assignment papers. So the next thing is the paper assignments. So this has a separate link. You complete these on the Blackboard. So under the assignments link, I do talk about the discussion boards again here, and this just gives you a brief overview. Then the CEO paper is the first one due. So you're going to pick a CEO leader from a company that I would prefer strongly that it's a public company. And the more well-known the leader is, the more content you'll be able to bring to this paper. And these are the 6 basic questions I want you to answer while you're writing this paper. And here's some information about the word count. And once you're done writing the paper, you click on the CE profile link here, and then there'll be a box that says browse your computer. Then you can attach the file and submit. And that's how you submit the assignment to me. And then also there's a second paper on the organization culture profile. And again, try to pick a different company than the company your CEO paper was about, and hopefully a public company. And then the more well-known, the better. Then you can answer these 5 questions on the culture profile, and a little bit more information down here of what I'm expecting. And then again, you click this link, culture, and this is where you'll be able to browse your computer and submit your Word or PDF document. Also, you can view the rubric again. So if you click on here, the rubric will come up and it'll show you what I'm looking at when I'm grading your paper. So you have an idea of what the gradable elements of the paper are. So that's always a good thing to do. And you want to get started on those papers. In week 1, you want to start thinking about those papers, picking out the topics and your material. And again, each paper should have a properly cited reference list and citations within the paper when you're bringing up information from a cited source, like a novel, not a novel, but there could be a book on the say if it was like Tim Cook at Apple, there's probably books about him, or Steve Jobs, there's books about him, or magazine articles, things that you want. These things you can cite and reference in the paper. Okay, so that goes over the paper assignments. All right, so that would be, and then the tools, of course, you're familiar with this because you're probably not new to Blackboard. There's also a library resource to help look up articles and information for the papers. And that's the class in a nutshell. Every time I say that, I think of that Mike Myers movie. I think it was Austin Powers, where he goes, "This is me in a nutshell." So anyway, this is the class in a nutshell. So I hope you found this video helpful, answered most of your questions, and I look forward to working with you in the completion of this course, and have a great winter. Thank you. Goodbye.